All right, everybody. I've got something for you guys to root for. We'll talk about that when you guys all get here. This is going to be the topic of conversation tonight. Nitrogen sports. I had to clear my cache because of freaking FanDuel, but that's something else. Of course, check my browser because FanDuel made me do whatever. So we'll wait a few seconds for people to come in here, and then we will talk about what's really important. We'll talk about the. I'm going to turn the lights off. Hold on, this is too much of a glare. The glare is coming actually from over there, which is actually kind of weird. Okay. So we are going to talk about the Major League Baseball slate, and we are going to talk about the NBA Showdown slate. We're going to talk about DraftKings. We're going to talk about FanDuel. But first we're going to talk about is we got to sweat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up my Nitrogen account here. And you will see that my balance is $0 in my Nitrogen account. 0.00. So I have an up and coming genius in the family who's quite the sports betting aficionado, and I said, if you ever need to, you could do something on my Nitrogen account, and did a lot of damage. However, the balance is now absolutely zero. But, however, he emptied the clip last night for a parlay that started when the Hawks were down 22 points. So he live bet the Hawks at plus 14-1, along with the Clippers at plus 3-1. And they both got there. And so tonight, what we have going is we have the Bucks just to outright win, and the Islanders to outright win. And you'll see the odds. It was 0.73 MBTC to win 140.95 MBTC. So we got a 150-1 shot to sweat. And all that needs to happen is Bucks win, the Islanders win. I have no idea if that has a chance. One thing I did do is I did attempt to calculate what we could hedge if we felt like taking all the risk off. And I felt very inept because I thought I'd be able to come up with a real nice, easy formula to calculate the optimal given what we could bet. But I actually ended up doing it just kind of like raw. And I do feel very, very dirty and very unproud of myself not being able to create what I needed to create. So this is literally the raw thing. I figured out a way that I could just put in what I needed. These were the odds of the different parlays not involving the teams we have that we could have bet. Like we could have bet against ourselves at 1.47, 4.1-1, and 4.43-1. And I did figure out by trial and error that if we wanted to, we could hedge everything out with this size parlays that we don't have, and we could lock in 30 MBTC. But apparently I got talked off it because you know what? When you're doing that, you're just creating more negative EV. You're just taking EV, throw it in the garbage. And Chris Vargas, who is the former DraftKings sportsbook person who I know from poker, told me you really shouldn't be doing that, so we're letting it ride. So that's what you guys can all root for tonight. All right. Maybe we're gonna have Matt on the stream next if we take this home. All right, so I will tell you right now, in the name of transparency, what I'm doing tonight. I'm totally into what Bobby suggested in the early video, and that is to go for double, triple leverage on the slate and play German Marquez or Marquis. And for those of you that didn't hear that, I am just going to reiterate my longer explanation of his shorter explanation. He liked them, and he gave good reasons why he thought he was going to be a good play. But this is the type of thing where you have a chalky hitting situation like Milwaukee, and there are several ways that you can get off of that chalk, right? And there are different levels of leverage that you can get. One is just to continue to play the Brewers. They're in Coors, but instead of playing the main stack, let's just go another way. First way you could fade it is by taking different pitchers, right? That's like low level, fading the chalk. Just take different pitchers and then still take the Milwaukee chalk. The next level is to take the Milwaukee stack, but don't play the highest owned guys. Like take the 7, 8, 9 guys, play like the 1, 5, 7, 8. So that is another way that you can get sort of leverage on the chalky part of it and not go too crazy. The next level of leverage you can get is to simply play a different stack. And I'll bring the different stacks that I like up there. But I mean, you could play the Yankees, or you could play Toronto or whatever, and with the same kind of raw points upside, maybe a little less. But that's one way you can hedge. But the ultra way to to leverage, is to not only do all of that, but to also take the pitcher that is going against them. Okay. Not only that, but you're getting a pitcher who is really low owned. So, and what seems to make sense, right? If you're going against a chalky hitting team, they're probably going to be low owned. And if that isn't even all enough, he actually came up with a really good just a logic of why he'd be a good play regardless of whether Milwaukee was chalky or not. So it's not like we're playing Marquis just to be a pain in the ass, right? Not just to be contrarian, not just to be, leveraged, but because in and of itself, it's probably it could be considered a pretty good play. So I'm in. I'm going to be playing 50% of him, and I'm going to be playing him in my biggest buy-in, and that's just what I'm going to do. He rates for me on my sheets as probably the 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5th best option, right? Just to tell you what it is. But, again, you're getting that ownership discount that makes that, that makes up for that to some degree. And the leverage against the Milwaukee chalk, I think, is very, very relevant and really worth it. If you don't want to do that, or, if you want, you have to figure out who to pair him with on DraftKings, is Ohtani remains a really good play. He's going to be chalky. Musgrove remains a really good play. He's going to be chalky. And then Morton, I think that all of these guys, and Stroman also, are going to be owned I'll get to that in a second, Adam. What I will say about these top 4 pitchers, like Ohtani, Musgrove, Morton, and Stroman, I think that they're owned, very reasonably relative to their chances. You know what I mean? I don't think you're getting any big ownership discount or or a big ownership premium on any of them. Okay. So I don't think that I could argue with you playing any of those 4, and I don't think I could just say, oh my God, you have to play any of those 4. So that's where I'm at on those. So you're saying the Blue Jays lineup is not out yet. Yeah, well, obviously, if the Blue Jays lineup is not as strong as it usually is, then, and they're not going to be as good of a play. You need me to tell you that. Ooh, what's this? This is I don't even have my Discord. I had to clear my whole cache. And as a result, I lost like all my passwords. Oh, I'm in. All right, that's good. So I can now get the get some Blue Jays up. Oh, so all these guys are. So Milwaukee's out. Cardinals are out. Detroit's out. Tampa's out. Seattle is out. Oh, there's Bobby. Oh, look at him getting right on in there. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks. Sorry about that.
So I'm gonna just summarize, by the way, what I said just now about what I was doing is that I'm completely in with the Herman Marquez thing. I'm playing 50% of him, and I'm playing him in my big buy-in. And I went through all the reasons that I went through earlier on the video. And then I went and I said that those other 4 pitchers that I like are just all fine. I have no problem with any of them, etc. Then what I was looking at now is that Adam was asking that the Blue Jays lineup isn't out yet, but if that means that maybe the important guys might be missing. So I was trying to do a little homework on the Blue Jays lineup right now. So that's where I was at.
Is that his speculation that they might? Because did we hear a rumor they might be missing? Because the Blue Jays tend to release their lineup really late, even when they're playing at home.
Oh, is that right?
It's not uncommon for them at all. There are certain teams that are like that. They are one of the worst about releasing, which does keep their ownership a little lower. That's the only way I would look at it, though, because I think trying to speculate on who's going to be in, you'll know the lineup before time. So I wouldn't waste time speculating on it. Yeah, I would leave your Blue Jay guys in and then adjust accordingly.
Oh, is that right?
It's not uncommon for them at all. There are certain. Sorry, I had to mute the video. Anyway. That's pretty much because I've noticed it all year long with them, especially since they moved to Buffalo. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at on that one. So I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, yeah, of course somebody could be out of the lineup on Thursday. It's Thursday. Every Thursday you're going to have starters out of the lineup.
I would like to say also I do have 70% of Daniel Berger, who fought back to -1. Not bad.
Back, I literally was looking at like $700,000 most of this morning. It was ridiculous because I had Matt Wolff, Patrick Rogers, Patton all together in like 50 lineups, and all of those were in first place.
But unfortunately, my cutesy attempt to play non-bombers, I got away with Berger, but not so much with Webb Simpson. So he's like +9. So, and I got a good amount of him. So that's my cross to bear. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I'm glad that was one of my probably my most fortunate fades, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only a long way to go. I really bet you the cut line ends up at +4 or +3.
I think so.
As if it doesn't. I think everybody should feel like they've got a shot still.
Yeah, that's. So where are you with Where are you today?
That was frustrating. Sorry, what was the other thing, Sheets?
Where are you today with the DraftKings baseball?
I'm basically pretty similar to what I was this morning. I'm trying to get some updated. I would have been usually more prepared for this, but the traffic, because tomorrow is a holiday now, which is wonderful, and we can talk about that another time. But yes, it's officially a holiday now. But I don't know if it's not officially necessarily a holiday everywhere, but in California, people are going to celebrate that way.
Oh, is Pride tomorrow?
No, it's for Juneteenth. They're taking the Friday off. They officially made it a holiday, but the official holiday, I don't know if it's effective immediately or whatever what passes that. But they did announce that yesterday, and every single person I know in LA has work off.
What is this called?
No, the fact that I don't want to get into. So it's the celebration of the end of slavery.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Okay, I didn't know what it was. That's all.
Yeah. No. I didn't want to say. I just didn't want other people to say, "Oh, I can't believe you don't know what that means about you or about anybody."
Well, I don't care. I know what it
is. People tend to.
I just don't know what it is. That's all.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I know I have work. I really didn't even know.
Yeah, it's a different thing. But yeah, everything's pretty much the same for me. I'm only using Musgrove because I'm only playing a few lineups on FanDuel.
Yeah, me too.
I'm obviously getting Odor out of my lineups because that was one guy I was going to play. And I'm probably going to replace him just with a little Dylan Moore if it lets us outside of stacks, so it's in a stack. Yikes. All right, well, I'll get back to that one. And then I'm just really, really high on all the things I said this morning. I know it's whatever, there were some questions I got like on some things that I wasn't able to answer yet because it was in a really bad sell area, actually out of this range. But one of the things is should they play Marquez or I think it was Stroman in cash? And you absolutely should not be playing Marquez in cash. This is a tournament play. One I feel really good about, but it's a huge tournament play. So I'm still on it. I have Marquez in 70% on DraftKings right now, and I'm gonna roll with that. Nothing's really changed for me today. And I do think that the Angels. Let's look at the ownership of the hitting stacks. Obviously, I don't have to worry quite as much if I'm going to use Marquez about my ownership, and I'm not stacking. That means it's not stacking Milwaukee too. But I don't think that the Yankees or Toronto come in crazy high owned. I think you'll see some between 10 and 20% guys, but I'd be surprised if you saw too many guys over 20%, if any. And I think you'll see a lot of single digit ownership on some of the side pieces, call them, I guess. Grichuk, Teoscar Hernandez, Gurriel, Reese McGuire. I don't expect them to be above 20%, and I think that some of them will be in single digits. And then the big guys, Bichette and Guerrero, will have some ownership, but they're not going to be crazy. And the Yankees, I don't think, are going to have anybody except for maybe Gary Sanchez above 10%. Maybe some people squeeze Aaron Judge in at up to 10%, but I just don't see that many people doing it.
Hey, there's another pitcher which he either wasn't listed as a starter or I just forgot, I guess, to look at him. Do you like Rich Hill at all?
Yeah, I actually had him earlier and I forgot to mention it. So I've got Rich Hill at 25% on DraftKings.
Okay.
But again, I'm using Marquez almost entirely, and then every other lineup. Morton is like almost 50% for me. Ohtani almost 50, and then the rest of it is basically Rich Hill and Stroman. Just split between them.
Yeah, that was the only one that I didn't have any. I just forgot to get whatchamacallit.
I think I prefer Stroman over him, but I think he's always with Rich Hill. You can always make when he's going to have some ownership, you should probably usually be underweight. But we don't have like a huge slate and tons of amazing guys. It probably isn't that great of a play. Is the more you think about it, just he's always a risk to get a blister and come out of a game. He hasn't thrown 100 pitches this season except for one time. He's thrown no more than 70 pitches in his last 3 starts, but he is being ramped up and he's facing Seattle. So there's plenty of upside for him. That's just, you just got to weigh the pros and cons. It'd be really nice to get him like on a big slate like this because he can put up a 27, 30 fantasy point game or something. But tonight you're not getting it's not like you're going to be the only one who has him, which on a big slate, you would be the only one who has him tonight if it was if we had the DeGrom slate or something.
Right. But by the way, the one notable that I had playing who's not playing today. I mean, it's not a big deal, but the guy from Colorado, Rogers.
Oh, Brendan Rodgers. Yeah. I actually thought they were going to do that. I was sort of surprised. I think it's because he's been playing well. People thought he'd be in the lineup, but he doesn't. He hasn't been playing against righties most of the year. Which again, I actually think makes their lineup even weaker. If you want to take a shot with Woodruff, be my guess. I mean, it's awesome hitting conditions out there. You have the wind blowing out a little bit, and it's 91 degrees. So if you can get the ball in the air, you should be able to get it out of there. If you're going to stack it, though, I really suggest you try to get like the bottom of that Brewers stack. I actually think they're not much worse than the top, and they're going to just have much like Jace Peterson and Jackie Bradley will be much lower owned than the other guys.
You mentioned on FanDuel you have mostly Musgrove, and you're not even playing that many lineups. I'll just go over who I ended up with. I have I have 60% Musgrove. I have 20% Rich Hill, and I got some sprinkles. Yeah, I got some sprinkles. I have a Stroman here and there. I have a Morton here and there. You know what I've got a little of? I'm going to get to him in a second. I got a sprinkle of Urquidy over there. You know what? I'm having a couple of lineups on DraftKings, and actually just one, but I'm playing a couple of lineups with Justin Dunn. We'll see.
You played a couple with Justin Dunn. I actually don't. Honestly, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. I really don't.
Yeah, I definitely made worse plays.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any questions or thoughts? Get them in. This is like really weird because usually until I get the Angels lineup and Toronto lineup, I just don't have anything to do. And I think that Adam, look, there really could be somebody out of the lineup tonight. I don't know that's why that's delayed. It's possible that's why, but usually it's just on Thursdays, it's getaway day. The Angels, it makes more sense why they're not giving their lineup, but why don't we have a lineup for Toronto?
It's a good question, right?
Well, it's just why are they so consistently bad at this? Why if the MLB, NBA are going to be invested in FanDuel, DraftKings, and other different gaming things, why aren't they forcing these guys to get their lineups out a minimum of 3.5 hours before they happen? Sure, you could always scratch a guy, but why are we doing this? You know what I mean? It's so frustrating, and there's no reason for it. It's baseball. There is not a lot to figure out. There's only one. If you have one guy injured, that's the only excuse I ever see. But the Blue Jays do this every night. It drives me nuts.
Everybody asks me what I want for Father's Day.
What do you want, Sheets?
I want, but you can't give me. My family, I said, I just want, we're doing a barbecue over here. People bring pretzels. I just want to be able to watch the last 9 holes of the U.S. Open in peace. that's literally all that I want. But last Father's Day was when we had our big sweat, by the way.
That's right. Hopefully we get it again. I've still got my lineups look awesome. I'm in the top 40 in the.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've got some really good lineups. Even Fleetwood had a good Fleetwood was tied with them also for first at one point. So that was.
Is he under par or no?
No, he's 1 over, but that's fine.
Yeah, of course.
1 over with more birdies than most of the guys. Some of the guys are 1 over and haven't made a birdie yet. They were just
are good. They're people that just started. I keep forgetting.
No, I meant guys who finished their round. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I feel good if anybody. I was saying, me and Kenny were talking about this morning. I was thinking anybody at 3 over or better, I feel pretty decent about with who I rostered. That's just the way that we look at it. Yeah. And the worst guy I have like that, I've got a lot of Finau who's 3 over, but I don't have anybody else significant ownership that's worse than that.
Finau is fine. At 3 over, like you said, all that's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that everybody's going to be in play. Like they're going to have a chance tomorrow anyway.
Let me take a look at my stacks. Where's the majority of your hitting going?
Toronto, New York, Atlanta. It's pretty split between those 3. I have Toronto players in every lineup. I don't have Atlanta players in every lineup, but I have more full stacks of Atlanta. And I've got Yankees in most of my lineups, not all. And then where I'm not doing them, I'm playing Tampa Bay and the Angels.
Yeah. I would throw in the Cardinals. I have a non-zero amount of the Cardinals.
Interesting. I have no interest at all in the Cardinals.
Yeah, I did also. I also did get to some Trevor Story, but I don't think I did a stack of that team. No, I just have Story as kind of a one-off here and there, and then in my non-marquee lineups, I am playing. Just so you know, I am playing Milwaukee, and rooting against them. That's basically the idea. Let me look at FanDuel. On FanDuel, I have a lot. I have I have the Yankees. I definitely have a decent amount of the Yankees over there. And Milwaukee, Yankees. Who else? Again, I've been so concentrated on freaking FanDuel. Atlanta, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing particularly off the board over there.
I'm trying to get myself some Woodruff actually too. That's the one thing I just doing on DraftKings. It's just he's significantly far and away the highest upside on the slate and is going to be unowned, and that's good enough for me.
So just for you guys to know, I added a thing, by the way, to the sheets. I don't exactly know how to use it yet, but I'm going to add it anyway. But I know how to use it. I don't know how to tell you guys how to use it yet. So in addition to like fantasy points and ownership, what I have is another column for the standard deviation of those fantasy points. So the fantasy points right now is like a combination of like 7 like different inputs plus, an adjuster here and there, whatever it is. And what the standard deviation is basically it says like the range of those particular projections. Mm-hmm. So like to me, it gives like how much does everybody agree on a certain thing, or how much is there wide discrepancy between what people agree on? You know what I mean? So if you have a wide standard deviation of points, then it might be a little bit less reliable than one with a lower one. And as you might imagine, the ownership ones are just kind of like all over the place. So again, I'm not exactly sure how to use, but I put it in there for myself. So I'll throw it up there for any real geekers out there who want to use that. And again, because I don't know the best way to use this stuff. It's just data. I know how I use it. If you guys want to download this and finagle, and say, oh, I want to divide this by this and come up with a good leverage score, that's totally chilled. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing it up there. Mm-hmm. What else? We have any questions? Would you stack Tampa Bay tonight? Yes.
Absolutely.
Whenever I think about Tampa Bay, am I worried about pinch hit risk though?
Not the guys who you're going to be playing.
Okay.
For the Kiermaier, I guess, but he's a good outfielder. Walls you'd have some worry. Taylor Walls, still probably worth it. But Tampa Bay also, if you believe in Rich Hill, at least he'll pitch and be fine, and he seems to be ramping up. Probably, actually, that doesn't really. I mean, you're thinking about them playing with the lead and probably not having to make adjustments like that for hitting if you think they're going to score runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it always works out sort of mixed. But my favorite plays in that game are guys who you're going to want. Arozarena, Meadows, and Lowe aren't going anywhere.
No.
Every now and then they'll have a weird Brandon Lowe taken out for defensive or something at the end of games. I've seen it a couple times, but that doesn't really play into his at-bats usually.
We are already running hot.
What's that?
I think I fixed the glare issue with my thing over there. The other thing I went over, Bobby, was the real sweat for the day.
What's that?
I'll show you. This.
I can't read it.
This is the nitrogen bet.
Oh, this is the big one. So what do we need? We need the Islanders tonight.
Islanders and Bucks outright. That's it.
Let's go.
It was 0.73 MBTC to win 140 MBTC.
That is absolutely insane.
And you'll see the balance right now is 0.00. So we are all in. He emptied the clip with the last 0.73 MBTC.
You know what? This guy Larry Berry is just such an idiot and a jerk. I'm just gonna get rid of him. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. I too many comments on the things. Sorry, bud. You're just too obnoxious, and I can't even read the questions because I'm just reading your nonsense. You want all the credit for saying Garrett Cole last night? Go ahead, take all the credit in the world you want. How great of a difference it must have been for that half a point to get you to the promised land. I'm sure you won a fortune. Jesus, I'm sorry, just driving me nuts. All right, Tracy, we got Tracy's question about the Tampa thing.
Dude, Stan, now you're making me feel inadequate because I mean, you know me, I'll put up freaking my sheets for everything. I put up my LOL sheets. I'm putting up everything, and I just didn't run a hockey showdown freaking thing today. If I did, I would have put it up there. That's the one thing I haven't played is hockey showdown yet.
Hockey showdown, huh?
Yeah, that I haven't done.
Yeah, that seems like a reach even for you, which is not, you definitely reach.
If I can project it, if I can, and then if I can leverage off it, if I can build lineup out of it, I'll play it. You know what I mean? I still have no idea what I'm looking at when I'm watching these LOL games, but I literally no idea. But I see the leaderboards. That's it.
It's what being good at information aggregation is about.
James. That's really nice. Very nice. Very nice, James. You could join Larry on the in the skids.
I don't know what he's talking about being wrong about. This is so funny to me. Like, is this really going to be an argument that we didn't understand that DeGrom had the risk of putting up 22 fantasy points last night? I mean, this is really dumb. So for a few hundred less, you want an extra half a point or whatever it was. It's really, really, really dumb. I don't even know what I actually don't even know what Cole ended up with, and I had him in some lineups. I don't know what the difference was. I don't even care anymore. It happened. It's not even a thing. It wasn't even like a big problem.
I cashed my two biggest lineups, and they both had to go out.
These are people who are clearly like either another site is telling them to troll or something, because anybody who thinks that I'm a projection slave, the things that they come up with are people who have never watched me do anything.
Right.
I am absolutely the least projection-based person. I'm telling you right now, my number one owned player tonight is Herman Marquis. Like, what projection has Herman Marquis as the best picture on the slate? It's so crazy to me. It's very, like, beyond crazy to me.
You can criticize Bobby for a lot of things.
It's true,
but that's not one of them.
That is not certainly not one you could justifiably criticize me for. It doesn't make any sense. It's hilarious, actually.
Tim James, we do have. Show James the Larry Berry waiting room.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so we have also we do have a Toronto lineup, which I will read in just a minute. Although, let me grab back to that. Come on, let's see this. This is why they're saying the hoop and big. You know why they hate me? Because I'll tell you why another time. Actually, I don't want to get into any of that. So, yeah, this guy is just another piece of, you know what? It is the run. I've heard them on their shows. They literally have said to go and try and mess with me and do all this stuff. And it's just whatever, guys. Like, it's not going to, if you think this is going to upset me in any way, you're wrong about that. We want to stick to the real stuff. Guys, if there's any real questions about tonight's slate, either basketball or baseball, although I'm not playing much of the NBA showdown tonight. Shito, you're playing in it, I'm assuming?
I'm playing 20.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have Toronto's lineup, which I will read in just a second. I believe I'm just waiting for my thing to update.
I'll give you guys my my ownerships in the showdown. And then the thing about the showdown, it's like a little annoying because I got actually some action over there because everybody knows who's gonna play. You know what I mean? So there's like it's really just a battle of like big chops. But I got some funny ones today. All right, so this is interesting stuff to root for. So look, I've got 100 of Giannis. I got 90 of Durant, but I got some stuff in the captain. Like I got some Connaughton in the captains. I got some PJ Tucker in the captains. I got some Brooke Lopez in the captains. I got some Middletons in the captains. I've got of my 20 lineups. I'll tell you this: I only have 2 with Durant in the captain, and I only have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have it's a decent amount. 9 with Giannis in the captain.
True. Is an 8-year-old son of bring the heat.
What is that?
Point American, been trained by William.
So you're multitasking even still, huh?
Yeah, that's the horse racing.
Jesus, man, I don't even know how you do it. It's like you have 4 million things going on all the time. I would appreciate it if they would update this. I know they've released the lineup, and I have the little app that tells me, but if I click on it, it's not giving. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's Bichette, Simeon, Bichette, Guerrero, Grichuk, Biggio, Gurriel, Tellez, Espanol, and McGuire. So we have no Teoscar.
Okay.
No Joe Panic, who was just projected to be in the lineup. That's the only reason I mention it.
Okay.
So that's going to change things a little bit for some of my lineups, and I've got to make some changes here. Joe Panic. And no Teoscar, which is a shame. I really liked him tonight. But Grichuk, and we've got Biggio now up to 5th in the lineup, and Gurriel at 6th is a little better. So, those are just do with it what you will, but those guys certainly seem to make some sense.
So I wish you guys could see. I could show you my showdown lineups because not only do I'm liking these. I think that some of these can actually win. So I have some funny guys in the captains. I got like 1,000 left on the table at least in 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably at least 30% of the lineups have at least 1,000 left. I got one lineup with 1,900 left on the table with no Durant. Oh no, that one has Durant. Shoot, okay. But this is the first showdown slate that I think that there's like a chance that I'm going to have a unique lineup somewhere.
Oh, nice. That's the name of the game in the showdowns.
We will see.
If you're playing a lot of them. How much Keen Wong do you have today?
I don't even know what team that is.
It's the Angels.
I don't think I have any.
2K third baseman. We don't know if he's even starting or playing.
Oh.
I have him projected in the lineup at 2K, and I do like the Angels.
Is he like a guy that could do something, or is he like Lewis Brinson?
Wait, Lewis Brinson did something. He hit 3 home runs for me. In all fairness, Lewis Brinson is like a god for me. Well, Lewis Brinson was the top prospect. I don't know a ton about him, to be honest with you. I'm using him as fillers in my Angels lineups, and he's 2K. I did a little bit of research earlier, which I can't remember just right off the top of my head at the moment, but it was generally that there wasn't anything so amazing there with him. There wasn't anything amazing about him, but there wasn't anything that you didn't need to play him. You could totally play him in a stack and feel fine. And it's pretty much everybody you can, so it's really not anything unique there. Candelario, Judge, Almonte, Acuna.
This is a really freaking, I have to say. Oh, wow. I have this. Oh, nothing. Well, I will say this, that
what were you going to say?
No, that for better or for worse, that Larry Berry guy.
Yeah.
That's like my main lineup, dude. I got the freaking Cardinals.
Oh, great.
Let's go.
Get the Cardinals.
Let's go.
What is the big thing about the Cardinals anyway?
Nothing. It's gonna be low owned, and can't play chalk everywhere. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I think is interesting about the slate is I didn't find myself gravitating naturally to all the chalk, but there's some of it that I like quite a bit. And the thing about Charlie Morton is like, we could argue that maybe he's not the same pitcher exactly, but I still believe he's a good enough pitcher to where I don't really want to like try to target him. So I'm not gonna. I mean, you look at his take away one start of his, and even that one he didn't give up a home run or anything. His previous starts, 18, 16, 32, 26. Like he's he's still pretty good. And those are some tough matchups too. He had the Dodgers, Washington, Boston. In Boston, he put 7 up, 7 innings, 9 Ks. Let's see. All right.
Yeah, this is kind of bumped up there. Yeah. Meanwhile, they give me a freaking heart attack. Whenever I see the whatchamacallit, the edit. There's a red edit thing on the DraftKings thing, like indicating like your players are out or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to remind you that like Ohtani's not hitting.
All right, so that's a beautiful. So I made a Stanton and Acuna pivot to Stanton. I'm sorry, that's not right. Okay, now I can do it. Yeah, BGO. Yeah, I don't mind you just going the 3-4-5 there and 3 Yankees, 2 Atlantas, and leave out Acuna in my main lineup on DraftKings. Acuna's in like most of my. He's in like 70% of my lineups, but I'm just going to keep him off of the one. I'll keep him off of is my main lineup on DraftKings, but he's in my main lineup on FanDuel. I really have a hard time seeing him not have a huge night here. Acuna, Grichuk, no Teoscar anymore. All right. Grichuk. Acuna. Awesome.
Let's see what else do we have here.
Sorry, I got a little distracted for a minute.
Let me see, who do I have? Let me see my big FanDuel buy-in. Oh, I may as well. I know what I can do now. Shit. All right, I'm gonna do something.
Angels, Tampa Bay.
In my FanDuel big buy-in, I have it's not perfect. The lineup isn't perfect, which is you like Upton tonight?
Yeah.
All right, that'll keep.
Well, I just like the Angels, so and I like Upton in general. Like, and I mean, they're going to be in a great spot all this whole series as long as they get to face Detroit's pitching.
Okay.
But their lineup, it's weird to say I like them because you look at their lineup, especially when you can't play Ohtani, you're like, who the hell do I want to play other than Stassi? And so next comes Upton, I guess. It's
right.
It's not too exciting though. Maybe this is the night Brett Gardner finally hits your home run for your the home run, but you won't be for you. You're not playing him.
I have a little Brett Gardner.
Okay. Somehow you always seem to have a little bit of everybody. I think I'm spread out sometimes, and I'm like, geez, this guy's really spread out. So Tellez ended up where in the order? He is, I believe he was in good. He's 7th. Okay, that's a little better than it could have been. Yankees lefties will probably only give him a couple at bats, though. So I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really, really mad at FanDuel right now.
Why? What's going on?
Because you know what? They did that update, and the only way I was able to get on to whatchamacallit to FanDuel was to reset my cache on my browser. And now all my freaking passwords and everything cached, I have to like redo everything. It's like so.
It's really frustrating. I've gone through, if it makes you feel any better, I've gone through that and much worse with DraftKings lately. So
yeah.
Oh, so you know what was happening? Teoscar Hernandez's wife is having a baby. So congrats to him. That's why he missed the game. The best reason to miss a game. They moved McCormick up to 2nd today. I did not notice that earlier when I looked. I like this kid.
Who, McCormick?
Last night you could have played him at 1% or 2% ownership, and now he's going to be like 30% undrafted.
Really?
On FanDuel, he will be. He's 2K, and he's batting 2nd. He just hit 2 home runs last night. He's a prospect. People love that.
Well, why not? I mean,
yeah. Toronto. Can I play anybody else? I don't like Toronto's full stack, by the way, as much anymore. I do still like them. Well, without Teoscar, and you get a pretty big downgrade. You do have. I should probably put Yuli Gurriel in some lineups. That's probably a mistake that I haven't done that. Sorry, I'm just trying to update my stuff. Let's see if there's any questions in here. Oh, he's still back with a new account. Well, yeah, we will.
we're just gonna change the Discord link within the next couple of days anyway, right?
I know. Stroman or Musgrove. It's Musgrove for me, but I think it's a good question, Tracy. I like that question, and I think they're both very viable. I'm using more Musgrove, but I do like Stroman quite a bit. And if you want to take that to use Stroman, tell you this: Stroman has a better pitcher's umpire. Lower strikeouts in general, lower probably ceiling, but probably safer. That's where I would put it. So let's put Teoscar and let's move him for Gurriel. Tell you what, I'm going to need the Angels lineup at some point, especially when I'm stacking them. You know what's a little bit annoying too is I think Toronto will come in a little higher owned without Teoscar in the lineup, obviously because it moves other guys at different positions higher up. Like you lose an outfielder which is already loaded anyway. It's always outfield. But then Biggio's now batting 5th. He had a home run last night. People will like that. Reese McGuire is in the lineup and he's 2K. Gurriel is cheap at 3,400. Grichuk is now he's 3,700. He's batting cleanup, so everyone's going to want to go there.
Spieth is even.
Can you imagine how much time you'd have to actually try and keep creating accounts to try to keep getting through on someone's thing? I know it doesn't take that long to create the YouTube accounts, but it's pretty crazy that someone would actually have time to go ahead.
There's nothing else to do for real. I mean, like,
yeah, no, but they also, and the funny part is they come in under different names sometimes, but they'll have like one letter different. It's really funny. Tracy, 1200 is absolutely a good thing to get a little different. I would recommend only doing that in large field GPPs. You're fine to do it in regular tournaments too. It's baseball. Anything can happen, and that 1200 may very well mean nothing. The optimum lineup usually has about 10K left on the table, but that doesn't mean that it's the best long-term EV decision move. So 1200 is more than I would leave in my baseball lineups usually, but on a large field GPP, I think it's completely fine if you feel good about your lineup, especially on this slate. Sheets, any thoughts on the 1200?
Yeah, so I have a different view on that than most people. See, what I do is if again, because I am somewhat projection based and whatever, or I use optimizers to some degree, and if I get to certain lineups, I don't care how much is left on the table. You know what I mean? Like I don't worry about that.
But let's say you had certain lineups and you have your stack together, but one of your secondary stacks is a 3-man combination. You're gonna leave. You would leave 3K on the table to get a third guy in.
Yeah, so that's the question. Yeah, see, that's the deal. That's the question I addressed a couple days ago, right?
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Right. So and that's an issue, right? You don't want to give up, like, this is the example I used. Like if you had a 2-man, you had a 5x2, and you had $5,000 left, right? And you had a choice between a $2,000 guy who makes the 3-man work, or like a one-off of Freddie Freeman. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of silly just to play to maintain the stacker integrity. You're giving up all that upside, you know?
Agreed. Yeah.
So yes, I do feel as though you don't want to. It's not about leaving money on the table. It's about leaving points on the table. You know what I mean? I think that if you're happy with your points, then you can leave money on the table.
Absolutely. And in baseball, by the way, if you're like, let's say there was a $4 tournament where it was $1 million for first place and there was 5 million entries or something like that. That's a tournament you should be like, you should set it to leave like thousands on the table. Like, I really believe that. Because I don't think you're gaining anything. That the name of the game at that point just becomes to get different. And I would say that the most logical place to leave money on the table of all sports is golf, and baseball would be the next one. Probably pretty close in both of them. Oh, we got Chris now in here. What's up, Chris? Boy, I've got to figure out if this Keen Wong thing is going to happen, because otherwise I'm switching this up. Got this guy in a lot of lineups.
Go to drive. File upload. Dropbox. True. Oh no. Look at this behind the scenes. Look at this.
Tracy has another question. Who would be your low cost guy for NBA tonight? I'm not playing the showdown as of right now, unless I change my mind later. Who would you have there?
Well, I'll just tell you who I actually have. Make it easier. I have like 90% Connaughton. If that counts.
Okay. So would you say he's your highest owned of the cheap guys? So I can try and answer everything?
Yeah. 90% is definitely the highest. I don't have anybody more than that. That's cheap.
This is a dumb question on my part.
Yeah, for those that you are interested, the League of Legends sheets for tomorrow are up. I got a guy on there in the Discord who plays it every day. He says he's been doing good.
Yeah.
He's good.
I'm tempted to give it a shot at some point and just using your projections.
I literally just use my projections. I put it in the Saber Sim and they build the lineups and I just throw it in. I really have no knowledge of the game at all.
I mean, you can do that though. There's nothing wrong with that. It's funny because like people like say, "Oh, you're a slave to project." So what? So whatever works. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Yeah, but the beautiful thing about it again is like like you use a Saber Sim to like create the randomness and to correlate all this stuff, and it's so funny. Like when people say, "What do you playing this? Do you know anything about the sport or whatever it is?" Let me recite I want to say the old joke. Call it the old joke. So there's this guy. He's like losing a fortune, like betting like football every single freaking week, right? I mean, he loses like his house, he loses his family money, and like he goes like 3-15, 3-18, like week after week after week, 3-19. He can't win anything, no matter how much he studies, no matter whatever it is, just can't. And the bookie like even feels bad for him. And the bookie after like the 15th week says, "Dude, I feel really really bad for you. Maybe you should try something else. Maybe you should try like basketball." And he says, "Basketball? What do I know about basketball?"
You know what? You guys, I didn't see this shooting thing. I have a really close friend who, did you see this in Phoenix?
No.
There was a shooting, but it's literally, yeah, I just got a message asking me about it and I'm trying to look and find more information. I guess there's a shooting in, where is this? Up in Mall?
A shooting in Phoenix?
It's literally like, apparently it's like right near where a good friend of ours lives.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sure it's fine for them, but it's just a little, I'll wait. It's not, I'm sure they're fine. It's just terrible to hear. Shoot. Hopefully everybody is okay. I know that there's some people, I guess, going to the hospital. I'll figure that out in a minute. Geez, that's pretty crazy. Sorry. All right.
I'll do with a couple of questions here. So, which stud would you fade on the NBA tonight? That is a good question, isn't it? I mean, I have like so I'm gonna answer you, but I will just say that I have almost 100% of both of them. When I say both of them, I just presume that you mean Durant and Giannis. I wouldn't fade either of them. That's just my answer. I'd fade Harden. How about that? I'd fade Harden. Yeah, he's a stud. He counts. The day he counts.
He counts as a stud.
Yeah, I'll fade Harden. That'll be my fade. I think he's legit hurt, but
he without a question he is. Yeah. But I actually think that, like, if it was going to be a multi-game slate tonight, I would have probably considered him. Like, it's not that hard for that guy to turn it around. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's he's something else.
Let's see what the NBA thing looks like here. I mean,
all right. Looks like hopefully they're okay.
Yeah, you know what? Your Shemet idea is not bad, by the way. Whoever chimed in on that at 1800. But I prefer the minutes. I like PJ Tucker at 2400. Maybe my thing.
You guys want a really weird one-off? It's Jock Peterson.
Yeah, you mentioned that, huh?
Yeah.
Bruce Brown in play on FanDuel. Well, let's see if I got to him. Might be off to an okay start in the FanDuel golf. Let's see. So let me see what I did in the NBA.
Like what if Patrick Rogers would have stayed in first place? I would be looking like a god over. He's at 1% on FanDuel, and I have him in all of my FanDuel lineups. And I have
not that this is wrong, but I mean I didn't not that I'm right, but I did not get to Bruce Brown at all on FanDuel. I mean, not a share, but that's oh no, nothing. I got more of the other crap. I got definitely have some Claxton, even though he played like 1 minute last game, I think. Shemet, who somebody mentioned before, Forbes. So I'll play some other stuff, but I just didn't get to Bruce Brown and Connaughton again. What's this question? Do you avoid 150 max tourneys and do you do mostly hub? You know what? It took me like a while to warm up to that idea, but I'm doing more of that this year to play in less lineups and bigger buy-ins. It's just you know what? It's I don't want to say it's easier to win because you're up against tougher competition, but it's but I feel as though it's easier to win. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably ignorant to say, right? That it's easier to win the tougher fields.
No, you just win amounts that are like it matters when you cash. Then and otherwise,
right.
Like to make money in a tournament with 10,000 people.
Right.
You basically need to come up with like one entry that makes the top 15, or
right.
you need to somehow you've zoned in like 75% of your lineups on one player or something.
Right.
Which is not probably the best idea. So in some sense, maybe you could say that it's easier to win. I mean, if you're playing 150 though in 150 lineup tournaments, then I think you actually would find it the other way around. But
okay,
that's just my take. It could go either way.
Yeah, I don't either, Scotty.
What do you say?
I agree with you. I don't either. Why take the time to even bother watching us if you're just going to troll us? You know what I mean? Isn't there? When I say, don't you have anything better to do? I mean that literally. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Well, the only thing is maybe he just doesn't understand DFS or English or something because it's pretty straightforward what we're saying. I don't think that it's.
No, he's just being a pain. He's just being a pain in the ass.
Okay, there you go. Boom.
That's it. Whatever.
Guys, any other real questions or thoughts before it's all over? Let us know.
It's all over. Oh my God, it's so dramatic.
I'm sorry, I got this thing. I'm just. Yeah, that was a pretty extreme way to say that.
Yeah,
I got nervous energy until I, you're back.
Yeah. So hopefully, in order, obviously, hopefully that your friends in Phoenix are okay, and then hopefully the Bucks and Islanders win.
Yeah, you're gonna get your other win though too. That's pretty awesome. Dude, this guy, your son might outdo you as a sports bettor here.
As a DGen, yeah, he could. No, dude, I think he needs to win this to break even for the year. I think. Yeah, I tell you, if he wins, we gotta get him on the stream.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? We'll do it anyway. If you want to, just anytime say the word.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. Good luck everybody, and that'll do it. Good luck, and and tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be around. Bobby's not around. It's a better chance that I motivate myself to do it. I just always need because Bobby doesn't usually play on the weekends too, but I play on the weekends also. I might really just I usually do Friday nights just to kind of like decompress.
You're burnt out. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I have a thing I'm supposed to do, but I'm gonna try to make it happen because I don't want to leave anybody empty-handed. Even if we were just gonna get trolled by a lot of guys, we still have some really good followers in the US guys.
So and if I don't see you tomorrow, well, we'll record at least. But just watch for all the stuff over the weekend and the NASCAR and the MMA and all the good stuff. All right, I will.